Production.
Yo, what is good, Exro squad? The last video I posted on this got some pretty decent interaction. I was actually surprised. One of my best performing YouTube videos over like a 24-hour period, so I was stoked. And I welcome anyone who's like really interested in Exro as like an investor to stay tuned. We're going to be posting a lot of these weekly updates here on Exro technologies, right? So we came flying right up into this resistance zone at around $3, right? That's okay. That's cool. What we need to pay attention to now, right? We see this large volume. Here we have a piercing candlestick pattern, right? So technically, that is a sign that we could have a bearish reversal, right? But that's all good because if you think of it, we came flying from the lows up 289%. So this baby was rocketing. Now, when we're looking at this simply from like a supply and demand perspective, right? We're going to delete everything off this chart. We're just going to look at this simply from supply demand. Right here, we have a massive supply zone, right? So it was acting as a demand zone previously, but we broke below, right? So now that we've come rocketing into this zone, all the people who have shares down here who want to take gains that are up that 250+%, they're going to want to take gains in this area. So it might take a little bit more time now to make this area outweigh the demand versus supply, if you see what I'm saying. To outweigh the supply, it might take some time to build up the demand in that range. So what are we going to look for from here? From here, what we need to see is maybe a retest of this closest support, which is $2.15. No guarantee here, right? I noticed that was a level that we were back in 2020. So I'm going to mark that out because we could potentially come in that zone and just develop another large pattern. Right? Another thing that I think is important we could look for, right? This trend line right here, it's pretty deep and steep here, but look how many touches it has. Multiple touches in this zone. You could fix it to your bias, whatever you want, right? Doesn't really matter. But we could be looking for a potential retest of this trend line. And again, if we break below it, the zone we need to pay attention to is right here because this area is the like clearest and most closest where we've had significant amount of buying over late November into January. So around 2 months of purchasing power in this range. Maybe we need to develop a base here before we get that push, right? So these are just, I'm not bearish on the stock. In fact, I'm actually bullish on it. And again, any news that could come in, that's big news. NASDAQ uplisting, a lot of these tech stocks like to do that. Partnerships, brand deals, anything super big that comes up that could help drive the stock higher. But for the most part, this is what we're looking at Exro Technologies from a technical perspective. It might take a little bit more time in this zone. Lastly, right, just to point out, there's trends, right? Uptrend, downtrend, equilibrium. It's beautiful to see a massive uptrend forming, right? So we have the low, we come pushing up, we make a high, we make a higher low in this range, and now we make a new high, right? A higher high. That's perfect. What we need to see for this trend to be confirmed and to continue is another higher low. We don't want to break below this low or else that trend is negated. If we create a higher low into this zone, that could be another opportunity to buy the dip, add shares, right? So that's what I'll be looking for to get a position in on Exro. That's how I'm playing it. But in the meanwhile, maybe we'll potentially set up something like this to get that big move to the upside. So that's the breakdown here on Exro Technologies. Peace, guys.